Hi, today I will be giving a persuasion speech on the topic Should Guns Be Legal? Here's my intro. Guns should be illegal. They'll help keep guns out of wrong hands. It'll help crime reduction and end mass murders. We need to pass a law that is up to date with the 21st century. Gun control generally refers to laws or policies that regulate manufacture, sale, transfer, possession, modification, or use of firearms. In 2008, there was about 16,272 murders that were committed, and roughly 67% were committed with firearms. This just shows that firearms are very dangerous and can be in the wrong hands a lot. This is why we need to regulate guns. We need to have gun control. Because guns are easy for anybody to access, and crime is on the rise because of guns. Between 1987 and 2015, Florida revoked roughly 9,000 concealed handgun permits for misdemeanors or felonies. So this just shows that even if you're educated and you have your concealed carry permit, they're still abiding the law. And defensive gun use is actually quite rare. Not very many people will have to actually use a gun in self-defense. Vulnerability. In 2015 homicide rate, roughly 1 in every 285 Americans will be murdered in their lifetime. And 42% of Americans will be the victim of a completed violent crime in the course of their lives. So you're very vulnerable to crimes with guns. Guns are just dangerous, and we should have gun control. Big cities, for example, Chicago, have a problem with firearms. In 2005, 96% of the firearm murder victims in Chicago were killed with handguns. And Chicago at one time banned handguns, and they saw a percentage of crime rate go down. But the government ruled the ban unconstitutional, and the rate went up just a little. So this shows that firearms are a cause of crime rate. Statistics: about 40% of all U.S. homes have guns, and 81% of Americans say that gun control will be an important issue in determining which congressional candidate to vote for. 91% of Americans say that there should be at least a minor restriction on gun ownership, and 57% of Americans say that there should be major restrictions or a ban. So there are more Americans that believe it's not a big deal having guns, but there is a big majority of Americans that think there should be major restrictions or bans, and this is true. President Obama wants to prevent gun violence and prosecute gun crime. He plans on having an initiative of 23 executive actions. For example, he wants to require background checks for all gun sales and strengthen the background check system. So he's for gun control. He believes that guns are a cause of violence. Yes, the Constitution, the Second Amendment grants the right to bear arms. And people believe in the saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, guns make it a whole lot easier to kill people when they end up in the wrong hands. Guns need to be regulated. Firearm accidents. In 2007, there were 613 fatal firearm accidents in the US. And there is a big age group from 1 to 65. This just shows that guns are still dangerous. Like, many accidents happens with gun. Guns are pure harm to Americans, just like the recent event of the Sandy Hook shooting proved that there's a need for more gun control because they end up in the wrong hands. They will prevent mass murders, and they need to be banned to help prevent disastrous events like this. We don't really need guns because we have the government and police. People just need to respect and trust authority. Guns aren't really needed. We have to realize that this is the 21st century and guns aren't needed now. In the 1800s, many people relied on guns for hunting protection, but it's 21st century and we are more organized with technology and protection. Overall, guns should not be allowed. Guns will help decrease crime rate and keep weapons out of the wrong hands. Guns aren't needed now in this society.